Hi everyone. How are you doing? Sorry we're a wee bit later tonight. I had a friend who stopped by unexpectedly to visit us this evening. She was only in Glasgow for the day, and then I ran her back to the airport and got a little bit delayed coming back home. So thank you for your patience. If you're still here and watching, thank you for joining us. Hey Ali, hey Shona. We're still on easy Christmas cards. I know we're into December, but if you're anything like me, you're still churning them out. So I have been making Christmas cards to go out with the new spring summer catalogues, which I will be sending out to my lovely customers and followers. If you have shopped with me in the last 6 months, you're getting a copy automatically. Don't worry about it. If you haven't shopped with me and you would like a copy, please do drop me a message and I will make sure that you're added to my list. So if you're not sure if you're getting one and you want one, then message me. I do have quite a few. Um, and yeah, so I've got a couple of Christmas cards that I've made before that I'm going to basically case and copy and do in slightly different designs. So let me flick to it and show you that. We're going to cue up the lights because it really is getting very dark in here these days. So we've got these two Christmas cards, which I've made before, and I'm pretty sure I've done them live as well. If I haven't, then I might do them again. But it's this one that I'm going to do, although I'm going to do it in different papers, to show you how you can get the same look just with a different kind of paper. Sorry, you can get a different look with the same papers. Oh dear, need to get my head screwed on straight. The papers that I'm going to be using are these ones. These are called the Winter Meadow papers. And part of the reasons that I'm using these ones is because they are still available. There are a lot of our beautiful papers that are now out of stock, finished, completely gone, discontinued. So if there was stuff that you were wanting that you didn't get, you might have missed your chance. It's one of these situations where you need to go quickly before they are gone forever. Don't hang about. Don't miss out. Right. I've got my instructions and measurements here. Right, so these papers are beautiful. So you've got this kind of like frosty on one side and the trees on the other. And you've got this beautiful like dark blue frosty with these kind of winter foliage on the other. You selling some of your Christmas cards, Ali? Very impressed. Your cards are beautiful. I am sure people will have snapped them up. Look at these. Aren't these gorgeous? These papers are just beautiful. More of the berry foliage type there. These ones. So these are really easy. Literally all you need to do is cut them, put them down, and a sentiment. I might use some of these later for an easy one. These ones just make me think of frosted windows. And these papers are just stunning. So the ones that I think I'm going to use first though are these papers here. So these ones with the foliage and the blue, and these ones with the trees and kind of those shades there. So these are the papers that I'm going to start off with. And I'm going to check to see what colours they are. I'm pretty sure this to me looks like Lost Lagoon. Let's get a sheet of Lost Lagoon. I have used up so much cardstock, and I have packs of opened cardstock all over the house at the moment because I'm doing an awful lot of crafting. Yeah, that's definitely Lost Lagoon for that one. These ones, that blue shade, it's, what do we think? Blueberry Bushel? Blueberry Bushel. Shade here. I think this looks about right. Although the green might be nice as well. The shade of green that is garden green. Do you know what? I'll bring out some garden green as well. You can tell me which one you think looks best. stuff all over the place. What do we think? Blue or green? Let's decide when we come to it. Let me cut these pieces and see how it goes. How's everybody doing? Have you had snow? I saw the snow earlier on at the weekend. It was really, really heavy. And I thought, oh, we're going to get really cool snow, but it's all pretty much gone here now, which is disappointing because I love snow. My husband is a big kid at heart. Any of you who have met my husband will know that this is true. And he loves the snow. So. Right, I'm just going to do a standard C6 card blank. So using thick Whisper White here and scoring at 10.5 and cutting at 14.8. And I'm going to do that twice because I'm going to make at least 4 cards on the in the session tonight, and I suspect I will be continuing to make cards after I have stopped filming because I have still got an awful lot of cards to make. But let's start with this for just now. You're going for the blue, ladies. Let me do the Lost Lagoon one first, and then we can do it again in the foliage, but it seems as if the blueberry bushel is what's catching your eye. So for my coloured cardstock, I'm going to cut this at 12.8, and then the size that I want is 8.5. So this is going to give quite a small panel. If I just show you what that looks like. She says, hoping that she has got the right measurements. Pretty sure I have. Yeah. So that's going to go on the front of my card like that. And then for my designer series paper, so as I say, I'm going to use these 2 first. It's actually the same on both sides. I'm only going to cut one sheet, and I'm going to cut it at 12.5 in this direction, and then I'm going to do 5.5. Now this is one of these cards that if you've got paper that is right in one direction and wrong in another, you want to make sure that the long edge is, that it's basically facing up and down the way like that. So that's the way I want it to do, which is fine. So I've done one at 5.5. I'm going to turn it over and I'm going to do another one at 2.6. Do this up at the top actually. It's easier. 2.6. There we go. This again is another one of these cards that's really easy to do in bulk. So I'm going to put this, should fit on just nicely there, and then that fits on, and it goes nice and snug together. Let's glue these down. Don't know about you, but I'm going through Tombow at a fair rate of knots. It has been one of my absolute essentials. Which I'm disappearing out of very quickly. In fact, at one point I had run out of Tombow, so I thought that's fine. I will use my stamping seal. And I forgot how much I like seal. It's I really loved snail, which we don't do anymore, and then seal was kind of like the replacement. But I always seem to reach for Tombow. But actually, seal is really easy to use. There we go. And jut that right up. Nice and neat. So there we go. So I've got this panel here, and then that is going to go onto the front of my card, like that. Now in the original one that I had, where is it? I had actually done an embossed layer behind. Do you see that? And I'd used Wink of Stella all the way over there, but this time I'm just doing it plain. You could do an embossed layer on there and I think that would look pretty, but I'm just going for quick and easy at the moment. So right, I'm just going to cut another one of these layers so that I've got it 8.5, but then the offcut that I've got, I thought I would try from the snowflake here. And I know it's not as wide as the whole tag, but I don't actually want it to be. I'm just going to use this offcut here. I'm going to put it in. I'm going to put it in upside down so that I can guide it and see where I'm going. And let's stamp that. Stamp it over a bin. So it picks up all the wee pieces. And there we go. So now I've got this piece here, which I'm just going to put the sentiment on. I'm actually wondering if I shouldn't just chop it and have the sentiment at the other, and have the snowflake at the other side with the sentiment in the middle. What do you think? I think that would look quite pretty. So have the piece that size and then have the snowflake to there. The way to judge it is work out where you want your end snowflake piece to be. Let's do it to there, and then just do a little mark. I'm just going to do that with my fingernail because I'm just going to trim that off. And then let's put that piece in. And again, just line it up. Press it down. There we go. So now I've got this double snowflake element. The center, up at the top, down at the bottom. Let's do it in the center and let's get some ribbon in on this action as well. I'm thinking, what would it look like if I put the ribbon through here? Just kind of feed it through. If you haven't guessed by now, we have gone off piste and I am just winging it. I'm trying to decide what would look pretty. My husband calls these Wing It Wednesdays. I just make things up as I go along. I hope you don't mind. So if I put that there, actually, ooh, see if I turn it around and I do it in this direction, then I could put my sentiment on the oval on white. I'm sure I've got some scraps of white here. Here we go. Right, Lost Lagoon ink. And let's get a sentiment. So winter greetings. That will just about fit. I think winter greetings is nice as well because I mean, I have a few friends that don't celebrate Christmas, but they do celebrate festivities at this time of year. So let's give this a try, see how it looks. Oh, by the way, next week's Facebook Live, I have got some new items coming that I can share with you. What do we think? Scalloped edge or plain edge? I think plain edge might look better with the snowflake. Ooh, I know. Sorry, just had an exciting idea. Let's lean back and find. Oh, you see, I've now changed my exciting idea. I'm going to show you. You can let me know what you think. I was going to suggest using silver glimmer to put that on. So basically cut a scallop out of silver to put it on there. Of course, my other option, the purple is beautiful, but what is the colour that goes perfectly with Lost Lagoon? You know it. Pretty Peacock. What do we think? Silver or Pretty Peacock? I will cut out both of them because I'm sure I'm going to use them at some point. let me just do this. So the best way, so I want a strip that is basically 3.3. I was thinking I'll do it 3.5, but no, I won't. I'll do it 3.3. I'm having no wastage on this. Get your votes in. Tell me which one you think is going to look prettiest. Silver or Lost Lagoon? Silver or Pretty Peacock? And I think I've done that one too small. Nope. Maybe I'm not seeing comments. The last comments were just the ones about blue. I need a pair of scissors. I'm going to change this and cut it the other way. So I've just folded that in half, and I'm gonna, oops, cut it this way so I get a fishtail. Do the same on the other side. Right, so my choices here is to either have it like that, so that is the Lost Lagoon, put it on there like that, or do it on the silver. Which do you think? Haven't seen any votes coming through now. You're normally very chatty. Silver. Flora's voted for silver. Silver it shall be. I am going to show you a tip here for gluing stuff onto Glimmer card. Okay. This is something that somebody showed me once and I thought was such a smart idea. I've used it ever since. What you want to do is you want to get a small hole punch. So this is the, hey Linda, this is the 1/2-inch circle. You will have your own hole punches. It doesn't need to be huge, but basically where my punch is going to be, I'm going to just punch a couple of circles underneath where my label is going to be. Okay, you can see the 2 circles there. Then I'm going to put my layer on top, and then on the other side, just going to get some tear tape. So I've got tear tape over those holes, and then I'm going to line up my sentiment where I want it to be, and I'm going to stick it down. Okay, so now my sentiment is actually stuck to the tear tape in between the holes, because sometimes when you stick stuff onto glimmer paper, it falls off because glimmer doesn't like having stuff stuck onto it. That gets around the problem. Then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stick this, because I've got the tear tape already, stick this onto my sentiment like that. And then I think foam pads on this next bit. Do I have full-size foam pads? That's the problem. I mean, my craft room is a bomb site at the best of times, but we really have taken it to an extra level just now. And I need to get it all tidied up because there's a whole load of people coming here this weekend. Oh, the joys. Right. Get it the right way up. And then I think, because you could put it center, but I think actually putting it offset so that it kind of goes where that line is. And there's my winter greetings card. Quite pleased with that. I like that. So I still think it looks pretty with the Pretty Peacock one as well. So I might do another one in that colour. But this is our first card. Now I'm going to do another one, but I'm going to use those other papers. So let's look at this. And we decided that we were going to do the layer in blue, in the blueberry bushel. So let me cut that to size. Those measurements again. Oh, by the way, this is going to be the Friday tutorial. So if you want to have this emailed out to you, make sure you join my mailing list. If you're in my team, I'm going to put them on our team page so that you can get these tutorials as well. Let's see, so 12.8 centimeters by 8.5. I'm just going to cut 2 layers because I'm going to make multiples of these cards. I have lots of cards to do, so I might as well make the multiples. Then let's get my cardstock. So I'm using this beautiful foliage one. So I'm taking this down to 12.5 centimeters. And then the wide part is 5.5. So I'm going to cut that at 5.5 centimeters. And then the other one, I'm going to turn it over 2.6. So I'll do that up at the top part of my trimmer here. 2.6. And let's assemble it. Hey, Sandra. I started a bit late tonight. Got distracted. Had friends round. So let's just glue this designer series paper onto my cardstock layer. It's just going to go on there like that. When you're positioning it, the easy way to get this right is to make sure that the gap that you've got at the top and the bottom, so your piece should be centered between the top and the bottom, and then however wide that gap is, that's how wide you want this gap to be as well. Let's do the thin strip next beside it. And again, the measurements for this means that it juts up right next to my first piece. There's no gap in between these at all. And then let's get my basic white thick cardstock card blank that I prepared earlier. Feeling a bit like Blue Peter here. Let's glue this time. There we go. Let's use our layer, just the offcut that we had from our 2 layers. And let's again get our snowflake. So turn it upside down, make sure it's centered, punch it out into a bin. And then here's how I measured that again. Oh, well, no, because I'm not doing it. Although, let's do it the same width as the other one, because then it's consistent. So the measurement that I'm doing, I'm just taking it down, measuring where the bottom of my snowflakes are, just kind of marking it with my thumbnail. Very quick and dirty, these cards, I'm afraid. Let's trim that off. Thanks, Sandra. They're not colours that I often go for, I'll be honest. Trying something a bit different. But it's sometimes these experiments, when we try something that's a bit different from our norm, that's when we find something that's really special. Let's see. Pop that out. So I've got my snowflake shape. And so then let's use that lovely silver ribbon. Remember, a lot of these items are from the autumn winter catalogue, so the September to December catalogue, which will be finishing very soon. Some items are in the last chance sale, they have up to 60% off. Other items have completely sold out and are gone forever. So one of the reasons that I'm using these papers and not some of the other papers is because these papers are still available. So if these are things that you would be interested in, then make sure you grab them before they are gone for good. I would hate for you to miss out. Let's bring that down a little bit more. And let's do the sail. You know how to do a fishtail, so just folding that over and then cutting it with a diagonal like so. And then just pull that down. So I've got this. Let's use my Blueberry Bushel ink to match my cardstock and my sentiment. Let's get, where's that piece of white I was using? There we go, winter greetings. I have to chop these bits off the bottom. It won't fit into the punch otherwise. And I'm going to close my ink pad because I do have a horrible tendency to accidentally, stick my hand in it or drop it on top of my finished card. Right, so let's stamp out my winter greetings sentiment. I am it's better to use thin strips for this punch rather than keeping out punching these, but I'm going to use them. I've got a whole load of tags that I need to make later, so I shall make sure that I have them for that. I think the silver is still probably what we're going to go for here because we've got the silver edged ribbon. So let's just cut out another one of these in the silver. And so once more, in case you didn't see it before, when you're sticking a layer onto glimmer, the way to get it to stick on so it doesn't fall out is we're just going to gut it in the center. So just a couple, using your smallest hole punch, just punch a couple of holes in the center there. Then I'm going to take my trusty tear tape along the back, like so. So I've got my tear tape on that side. When I turn it over, I can now line up my sentiment, the bit on the top, push it through, and it has stuck to the tear tape, so it's not going to fall off it's not going to fall off your glimmer card. Right, then let's peel off my tear tape and put it onto my sentiment. And it holds the ribbon in place as well, so I'm just going to make sure that's nicely lined up before I stick it down. I'm glad you like the layout, Sandra, thank you. Where's my dimensionals? Stick a couple of these on. And then let's just finish that off here. There we go. So those are 2 cards done using the same pack of papers, but getting a very different look for both of them, using the snowflake tag topper punch to create our sentiment piece, and then using the ribbon and the silver glimmer paper there and just our sentiment on the top. Which is your favourite? So the first one we did, which is the Lost Lagoon, it's very pale and frosty. Or do you prefer the one with the foliage and the blueberry bushel, the brighter blue? Which is your favourite? Here we go. Right, I know we started late, but I think we've just about finished the time that we normally do. I'm going to keep making Christmas cards, so I might actually just make another one. And people who are live that want to stay on, absolutely feel free. If you need to go, totally understand. I've got 1 vote for Blueberry Bushel and 1 vote for Lost Lagoon. Ali likes bright and subtle. Oh, as in 1 card is bright and 1 card is subtle? Yeah. And Debbie, yours is the blueberry one. Here, that's your favourite. There we go. Good to know. Another vote for Lost Lagoon. Oh, it's kind of tied. What do you think, guys? Shall I make another card? I'm just going to make another. I'm going to do another one of these kind of cards, but I'm going to do it in these colors. Do you want to stay on and join me and watch me make one more card? I understand if you have to go. I will not be offended. But I am going to just stay on and craft another card. Because might as well do it for you guys. I was late in starting. As I say, we had a friend who came. Yeah, we've got another vote for another one. Here we go. Right, so I've still got my basic white card blank. I'm going to get my measurements here so that I can do this the way I want to do it. So let's get this. So I'm going to cut my coloured cardstock. I got another one staying. Thank you. Cutting this one now. We're in inches, I'm afraid. 4 3/4 inches by 3 1/2. I wonder if I can get 2 out of this strip here. I can. 3 1/2. There we go. And then I need my basic white cardstock. Not thick basic white this time. I've used the thick for the card blank, but this is just my standard basic white cardstock. And I'm going to cut this, so I want it 4 1/2 by 3 1/4. Do a couple of these. Another one for the measure. There we go. Right, next we're going to use our DSP. So I think I'm going to do another one in this. Let's just cut that measurement that I did the last time. There we go. So 12.5. If I do that to 12.5, does that give me? It doesn't. Yeah, actually it will. This is a way that I'm going to use those offcuts. So I want this to be 12.5. These are for the cards that I've just made, to have those layers. So I'm going to finish them later. And then the piece that's left, I want to cut it into 1 inch strips. So that's 1 and that's 2. And then I've got a tiny, tiny little offcut. I'm probably going to put that bit in the bin, I'm not going to lie. Right, this one now I'm going to cut into 3 inch pieces. And because my sheet is 12 by 12, I should get 4 of these. And then should we use this to go with it? Let's cut a 1 inch strip off the top here. And again, cut these into 3 inch strips. Okay, right, now I'm going to glue these down. Where's my trusty Tombow? The order I'm going to do these in, let's see. I'll do it. That one's going to do in that order. This one, I think, blue along the bottom, and then that one, and then I like the trees along the top, so I'm going to keep that in that order. So, trusty Tombow. So again, here's what I was saying about lining up. I know this piece will fit equally between my 2 sides, and then I want my bottom piece to be as wide as both sides. Okay, so that gap on either side there is the same width as the gap along the bottom. I'm going to do the same with the piece at the top. So however wide those pieces are at either side is the same width as the bit at the top. And then for my third stripe, it's going to go the same distance from the strip to the bottom is going to be the same as the gap in between these stripes. So it's going to leave a big gap up there. That's what I'm wanting. Let's very quickly just do the other layer as well. That's the thing, somebody asked me once about how I get things to position correctly. And I don't know, sometimes it feels like when you've been crafting for a while, you just kind of do it instinctively, don't you? You just kind of line it up and go, oh, yeah, that looks right. But how do you teach someone who's never done it what looks right? How do you help them have those instincts? I suppose trial and error is a great teacher. You try something, doesn't look right, so you try something else. But if you're a beginner, you can waste an awful lot of cardstock doing that. And especially when you're using beautiful papers and beautiful cards, you don't want to waste it, do you? You want to get it right. So I think I learned by watching other people. My mum is a really great crafter. I've got friends that are really lovely crafters. I'm always learning. I'm always learning something new. But now when I'm trying to show other people, where I can, I try and talk through my thought process rather than just saying, line it up so it looks right. Things like explaining why this should be centered top and bottom and then those bits should be the same. Hopefully it will help someone. Either that is literally just me waffling on and annoying everyone. I do wonder if some people prefer watching me on mute with the sound on. Oh dear. There we go. See, I used Lost Lagoon as the layer, but actually I would maybe have been better using the garden green or the blueberry bushel. I don't know. It's done now. Still nice, but for some of the other ones, I might swap over into the blueberry bushel or the garden green. Mix it up a bit, make them different. You do that as well, Sandra. Good to hear. Means I'm not going completely crazy. I mean, partially crazy, yes, but not completely. All right, let's finish these ones off with a sentiment. So this is my Christmas greetings. And I think, what do we think? Lost Lagoon or blueberry bushel for the sentiment? Because I used a Lost Lagoon layer, but we've got blueberry bushel here. One of each. Let's start with Lost Lagoon, see what we think. Change to blueberry bushel if it doesn't look right. Let's give this a try. Now, see about how I'm supposed to line this up. I should do this with the Stamparatus, just get it all perfectly lined up and go for it, but you know, that's not too bad. What do you think? That's Lost Lagoon. I actually think the Lost Lagoon works quite well. You enjoy watching and learning, Flora. I'm glad. Thank you. I hope that you are learning bits and pieces. I love to think I'm maybe inspiring someone. And always remember, you can ask questions. If there's something that I've done that doesn't make sense or it doesn't look right, then please do point it out. Did one in Lost Lagoon, I'm going to do the other one in Blueberry Bushel. And yes, I'm being really naughty and I'm not cleaning my stamp off in between. But that's because if I put Lost Lagoon into Blueberry Bushel, it's not going to make a difference to the stamps, to the ink pad. I wouldn't try it the other way around though, because that would cause problems. And I will clean them off this time, I promise. Right, there we go. What do you think? Which one do you prefer? The Blueberry Bushel sentiment or the Lost Lagoon sentiment? They're both nice, both slightly different. And then I've got some embellishments, which I did lay out earlier because I thought they'll go nicely with this card. Where have I put them? Here they are. All right, so these are the Faceted Gems Trio. Again, these are still available. You like the blue one, do you, Flora? Good. Let's use... So I'm going to use the silver one here. Let's just pop one there. I'm going to use a couple. That one there. And then these ones I'm actually going to use. These are Lost Lagoon embellishments. So the colour all kind of ties in. I just think that's nice. There we go. Right. So those are my 4 quick and easies tonight. Quick and easy Christmas cards. You can use these with any DSP that you've got. It doesn't have to be this particular one, but it's just a nice way to use up your designer series paper, quick and easy cards that you can send to everyone. More votes for the Blueberry Bushel. I think I might try and do this one again with a Blueberry Bushel layer rather than the Lost Lagoon. Although I do like the Lost Lagoon. Right, gang, I think that's probably us for tonight. So thank you very much for joining me. Tune in next week to see all new Shiny. And yeah, have a fabulous week. If you do get up to anything crafting, please share your creations with me. I love to see the stuff you make. If you've got any questions, you know where to find me. And oh, one last thing I will say though. Last shopping day to have stuff arrive before Christmas is the 14th. So it's not next Wednesday, it's next Thursday. So if there is stuff that you're wanting and you want it before Christmas, make sure you get it before the 14th of December. All right. Take care, everyone. Have a fabulous week. See you soon. Bye.